Hey everyone, welcome to homework 1.20. Today we are looking at more inequalities with one variable and finding the solutions for those. So we're starting off with Lynn, who is solving the inequality 15 minus x is less than 14. She knows the solution to the equation 15 minus x equals 14 is x equals 1. How can she determine whether it is x is greater than 1 or x is less than 1? For the solution to the inequality. So we can draw a number line here, and let's go ahead and label 1. And that will help us to determine what values to the left of 1 that are smaller than 1 and what values are greater than 1. And so the easiest number to test below 1 is, of course, 0. So let's try testing 0. If I were to plug 0 in here, I would end up with 15 is less than 14. Whoops, is less than 14. That we can see is not true, right? And so that means that this side does not work. But if I were to try a number bigger than 1, let's say 2, and I put that in here, 15 minus 2 equals 13, and that is less than 14. So that, I don't know why I keep trying to write 15, 14, so that works. So we know that we are looking at a situation in which x is greater than 1. So again, we can do that by testing values on either side of 1 and see which direction are we going. All right, number 2, a cell phone company offers 2 texting plans. People who use plan A pay 10 cents for each text sent or received. People who use plan B pay $12 per month and then pay an additional 2 cents for each text sent or received. Write an inequality to represent the fact that it is cheaper for someone to use plan A than plan B. Okay, so in this case, we're comparing 2 plans. And so plan A, let's make an equation for plan A. Plan A's equation is that it is 10 cents for each text or sent or received. So 10 times the number of texts or calls. We'll just use T for text or calls. All right. And then in plan B, people pay a flat fee of $12 per month. Now, here's something to be very careful about. We're looking at $12 versus 2 cents. Now here I wrote 10T because we're looking at it in terms of cents. But if I'm including this $12 in cents is actually 1,200 cents. So 1,200 plus an additional 2 cents for each text sent. I could also write this as 0.10t if I wanted to, and then 12 plus 0.02t. So you can write it this way as well. I'm going to write it this way just so we have nice big whole numbers to look at. So this is saying, when is it cheaper for plan A than plan B? So we want to write 10t is less than 1,200 plus 2t. And so now we need to solve this. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have 10t is less than 1,200 plus 2t. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract 2t from both sides. This will give me 8t is less than 1,200. So now I can divide both sides by 8. And then you can easily find what t is, at what time, how many text messages will plan A be less than plan B. So again, this t will tell us when is plan A going to be less than plan B. So if we were to calculate 1,200 divided by 8, we'll get 150. So when our text messages are less than 150 text messages, plan A will be cheaper than plan B. All right, let's take a look at number 3. So Claire here has made an error when solving negative 4x plus 3 is less than 23. Describe the error that she made. So she said negative 4x plus 3 is less than 23, and then she went from this to this, which means she subtracted 3 from both sides. So far, that step is fine. And she got negative 4x is less than 20. Then she divided both sides by negative 4, and she got x is less than negative 5. But if we were to plug that in, we would get a number less than -5, for example, if we were to plug in -4, -4 times -4 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19. And so that is less than, but that's if we put -4, which is greater than -5. If we were to plug in a number smaller than -5, such as -6 or -7, then this would then become larger than this. So what she forgot to do here is she did not flip her sign when she divided by a negative number. So remember, a key point is when you divide or multiply by a negative number, then our sign flips, okay? The other thing that she could have done, if you're ever nervous about that, is you can always test the point. So if you got 5, right? Let's test a point to the left, sorry, -5. Let's test a point to the left of -5 and a point to the right of -5. Well, the point to the right to -5 is 0. That's the easiest one to do. So 0 plus 3 is less than 23. So this side checks out. If we wanted to, as I showed you, testing a point like -6, that is going to actually end up making this larger than 23. And so this side does not work. So we're going up. And so therefore, -5, x has to be greater than, open circle, -5. All right, let's